Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Heretic Dave, and this video is going to be a bit about Deathwatch and what detachment is really best for the Deathwatch. This is the Black Spear Task Force. As we know, this is the Deathwatch specific detachment. This is the one that gives you kill team tactics or mission tactics, and your kill team units or Deathwatch units that have the mission tactics ability get lethal hits, sustained hits, or precision hits, or critical hits once per game as sort of like tactical type doctrine things, which is good. It makes them, 15% more killy, maybe a bit more if you got rerolls. So that's good. That's fairly straightforward. So that's good. And then for the stratagems, we've got abilities to put kill teams into those tactics, and also it's actually been fact now that you can put other Adeptus Astartes units in a kill team tactic. So, for example, if you've got a unit of Hellblasters, you can spend a CP and give them sustained hits or something, which is nice because you'll probably have a lieutenant with them to give them lethal hits as well. So that's good. And then the other stratagems we have are around shooting. It's a very shooty detachment. You can give Assault and Ignores cover, which is nice. You can give extra range and AP, which is very nice, especially on melters and the Indomitor kill team. So you can teleport down and then suddenly get a melter range, and adding extra AP on all their bolt weapons and flamers is really nice. And there's the anti-infantry 2-up and monster 5-up one as well, which is very good. So abilities to make your kill teams more killy, and then make them more shooty. So it's all about shooting. And that sort of goes hand to hand with site-to-site teleportation, which is a stratagem where at the end of your opponent's phase you can pick up an Astartes infantry unit or 2 kill team units, take them off the board, and then deep strike them back down again. So deep strike down, shoot stuff, then go up and deep strike back down again, shoot more stuff. Very bouncy aroundy, shooty type attachment. It's really good. I like it. I've had a lot of fun with it. But it focuses more around kill team units, especially around kill team units, and shooting, which is fine to a point. Look at the enhancements. They help shooting and combat really. So you got a few secrets, which is an amazing enhancement. At time of filming, this is 25 points. Increases strength, AP, and damage of the melee weapon by 1, and as soon as that model's killed, then it increases by 2. So, stick this on, a Watchmaster. He's going to have an extra strength, AP, and damage, which is good because he's got D3 damage, which is swinging in. As soon as that Watchmaster has killed a model, you then add an additional 1 basically onto that. So, really cool melee enhancement. Makes the character an absolute beat stick. This is amazing on so many different characters, whether it be a Watchmaster, a normal captain, a Gravis captain, a Terminator captain, a Judicia, a Chaplain. You name it, it's a really good enhancement. OCS key, I'm not even going to bother talking about. Beacon Angelus to give a unit deep strike, really good. Helps with shooting things. You can make your Hellblasters deep strike, for example, if you give them the lieutenant with Beacon Angelus, which is nice. But it also lets you rapid ingress for free, which is interesting because that helps melee units. So, for example, if you put this on let's say a character that's leading some Deathwatch veterans, you can rapid ingress them, deep strike them down for free, and in your turn then move them closer and then charge. So you only have like a 3-inch charge as opposed to a 9-inch charge from deep strike, potentially. So that's very good. Again, it's 25 points at time of filming, so it has its uses. I think it may be a little expensive, but it's very good. But in a detachment where you can sort of deep strike stuff around anyway, is it needed? I don't know, but it's fun to deep strike our blasters. That's what I'm going to say. Thermovector Clades, really good. 30 points at time of filming. This essentially gives you a once per game. I'm going to have 2 Oath of Moment targets, so reroll hits against 2 targets, which is it's very good, and it helps predominantly shooting because Oath of Moment benefits shooting more than combat really, because you're able to pick and choose what you shoot at more than you can pick and choose what you can charge at. So yeah, very good enhancement. Stick on a Watchmaster or a Captain. It's nice. It's good. It's 30 points at the moment. yeah, it's good. So enhancements, I really like the enhancements on this attachment. Osseous key, who cares? But yeah, really good. Now, I'm not going to deep dive into all the data sheets because this is about detachments. So we've looked at this detachment and we've seen it mainly benefits teleporting around and shooting for the most part. The enhancements can help combat as well, but stratagems all around, jumping around, shooting stuff, mission tactics help with everything. But you jumping around shooting stuff, it's going to make, it's a very shooty army predominantly, which is why you see lots of Deathwatch players bringing in cursors, or what's the name of the speeder that gives you +1 to wound after it's shot? Sorry, I can't remember because I haven't got one. But it's predominantly a shooting army. Okay, now quick look through the data sheets. What in these helps shooting? So we've got the Watchmaster. If he joins a unit, they can advance and shoot, advance, shoot and charge, fallback, shoot and charge. So he helps everything basically, and he's got reduced CP cost abilities, strata costs. So that's good. That's good. Okay, cool. Watch Captain Artemis doesn't help shooting or melee. He just gives unit lethal hits, which is nice. He's a lieutenant, but he's named a captain. Better in combat than a lieutenant, but unlike a lieutenant, you can't have the unit fallback, shoot and charge. So okay, all right. Deathwatch veterans. Now, for every 5 dudes in the unit, you can have 2 heavy weapons, right? You can have a frag cannon and a heavy bolter. You can have a stalker bolter as well if you want to. You can have a shotgun as well if you want to, and you can have a combi weapon, so you can give them all the guns. In a 5-man unit, you can have a combi weapon, a shotgun, a frag cannon, a heavy bolter, and a stalker pattern bolt gun. So you can make them quite a shooty unit. But is that the best way to run them? I'm going to say no, and here's why. For every 5 guys in the unit, you can have 2 Deathwatch hammers, which are absolutely brutal. You can have a Xenophase blade on the sergeant, and you can have some dudes, a dude with a power weapon, and a dude with twin-linked power weapons, basically. So you can go either way. Personally, I think they're more melee than shooting. I think the melee options are better. Obviously, that means you've got to get them to melee, which is where the problem may lie. So you need rhinos essentially to get them around, which is fine, but then you've got to pay for the rhino. Or you put a Watchmaster with them so you can advance and charge, fall back and charge. So yeah, that's really good. But it's predominantly a melee unit in my opinion. Its shooting is okay, but the AP isn't great. And then with cover these days, it's essentially AP nothing. Whereas these are AP2, and you can't hide in cover from combat. So if you want them to be more killy, I think melee is the way to go with the Deathwatch veterans. And yeah, they've got their built-in built-in re-rolls to hit, which is nice. Predominantly a melee unit though, really, and they've got good OC. So you really want them charging and taking an objective, killing some dudes. Denying some primary and killing some units, probably hiding behind a wall somewhere that you can't get to, and obviously because it's hiding behind a wall you can't shoot them. So yeah, predominantly melee unit, but you can give it guns if you want, but there are better options in the index if you want guns. Okay, Deathwatch Terminator Squad. Now, controversial opinion, this is a melee unit. Yes, you can have 3 cyclones per 5 dudes. Yes, 6 cyclone missiles is hilarious. 6 crack rockets, it's fantastic. Plus your storm bolters. Yeah, you can shoot a lot of stuff. But let's not forget Terminators can hit things in combat. You can have 5 dudes all with power fists. That's 15 attacks. 8 AP, strength 8, AP 2 damage. Cyclones are strength 9, AP 2 D6 damage. The D6 can be really good, but it can be really bad. AP is the same. Yes, there are ways of using stratagems to increase the AP or make it ignore cover, but it's not too dissimilar, really. And obviously, if you teleport around, you're shooting stuff. It's great. Against infantry, they're amazing at blending infantry with crack missiles or frag missiles and storm bolters. Punching up into vehicles can be a bit of a problem, but obviously there is ways of giving them lethal hits, there's ways of giving them +1 a wound. So the Cyclones can punch up, but they always re-roll charge rolls. They want to get into combat. And when they make a charge move, they battle shot things. And if it's Xenos, it's -1 to that test. So they're very good at charging in, smashing something, and even if they don't kill it, you could battle shock it and flip the objective. So that's interesting. And let's not forget you could rapid ingress for free with your teleport homer. So, really want to get in melee, but has guns as well. They're a bit of both. They're like Deathwatch veterans, they can do both, but they really want to get in melee. Okay, Corvus Blackstar, irrelevant. Talon Strike, they want to shoot stuff. They drop down, they shoot stuff, that's what they do. Increase AP when they turn the deep strike. Yeah, they get increased AP in combat as well, the turn the deep strike, but that means a 9-inch charge, which is unreliable, and therefore, because of that, getting Lance to turn your deep strike is almost completely pointless. So that's a shooting unit, I'm not going to argue that. Talon Strike is definitely shooting. Fortress Kill Team, definitely shooting. You've got plasma dudes in there, you got your Nerf gun rocket launcher guys in there. That is a shooting unit. Indomitor Kill Team, it's kind of both again. They can have lots of weapons, shooting guns. You want some melters in there, you want some heavy bolters in there, you got some heavy bolt rifles in there, you got some flamestorm or boltstorm gauntlets in there. If you're having the aggressors, you're also having some power fists in there. And you're probably putting a captain with this unit. Gravis captains aren't massively used outside of Deathwatch, but putting a Gravis captain in a big 10-man unit of Indomitor Kill Team is definitely a thing. Especially in the Black Spear Task Force where you're teleporting around for free, this unit and another unit. Putting down a lot of firepower. Yeah, it can be pretty brutal. And obviously the Gravis captain himself can have a cool little mastercrafted heavy bolt rifle or a bolt gauntlet, and then power fists or power sword and things. So again, a bit of both. Now, the ability here is they get +2 strength when they shoot the nearest thing, and +2 when they charge. So extra strength when you shoot the nearest thing, extra strength when you charge. They kind of want to get in combat as well to make the full use of their ability. They're not just a shooting unit. That's where they do their biggest damage. I'm not going to argue that. But charging and finish something else off as well, it's nice. You know, you can have 9 twin link power fist attacks with your 3 aggressors going at strength 10 on the charge. Plus your captain. Okay, so that's another unit which kind of wants to get into combat as well as shooting. Spectre's Kill Team is a shooter unit. They bounce up and down. I'm not even going to talk about them. So what we've seen from this detachment is the Black Spear Task Force is a shooter detachment, and lots of the Deathwatch units like shooting. And you can give them other units to go complement with them, such as the... I can't remember the name of the speeder now. Is it Death Strike? Talent Strike? It's the speeder that gives +1 when you got incursors that can give +1 a hit, and you got open moment, and you got all the special ammunition rounds. It can be a very shooty detachment, not going to argue that. However, I've played this detachment a lot in its old format and its new format since it came back at tournaments, and if you really want to make the most out of the stratagems, because they only affect kill team units for the most part, and the mission tactics now only affect kill team units, with the exception of spinning a CP. You want lots of kill team units, which is great, but it's a shooty army. And if you play competitive 40k, there's a lot of terrain these days, a lot of places for people to hide. And at certain levels, site-to-site teleportation is fantastic. You can bounce around the board, get your lines of sight, shoot things off objective, delete stuff really effectively. But there comes a point where you start playing players at a high enough skill level to realise what you do with your teleporting around and just screen you out. And it's very difficult then to get behind them to shoot things or to get where you want to get the line of sight. And then without teleportation, Deathwatch suddenly becomes a slow army. You got no advance and shoot, with the exception of this 1 CP, and that's for 1 kill team. Yes, you can have Watchmasters, but you're paying 100 points to have a Deathwatch veteran unit advance and shoot, and then advance and charge, which is nice. But you're paying 100 points for it. And I think there might be other detachments which might be worth having a look to give us a bit more mobility and still make use of our shooty Deathwatch kill teams and our combat Deathwatch kill teams. That might be an alternative way of playing Deathwatch other than just let's teleport around and shoot stuff. So let's take a look at some other detachments that we could maybe use. So here, this is the Librarius conclave detachment. This is the one that was released with Grotmus. You need Psychers. Okay, that's fine. We can use Librarians now with Deathwatch. It's fantastic. So we can have, we can have Librarian with our Fortis kill team, which gives them a 4+ Invulnerable save, which is quite nice. And then you can get your benefits of this detachment with that unit. You can put Inquisitors with your Deathwatch veterans. Inquisitors, you can make them Psychers. You can put Terminator Librarians with the Deathwatch Terminators. That's really good. You can't put Librarians with Talon Strikes, and you can't put Librarians with Indomitor kill teams. There might be a way of getting Inquisitors to join Indomitor kill teams, although it's a bit of a roundabout way of doing it, because the Indomitor kill team says, and I'll revert back to it here. Where's the data sheet? Not that one, not that one. Where is it? That one. Okay. If a character unit from your army can be attached to a heavy intercessor squad, it can be attached to this instead. Now, Inquisitors can join Imperium battle line infantry squads. Heavy intercessor squads are Imperium battle line infantry squads. So there is an argument for Inquisitors being able to join Indomitor kill teams, but I have a feeling that's not what's intended. But there is a way of getting around it. Anyway, so you can put Psychers with some of your Deathwatch units to get the benefits of this detachment, and it's an okay detachment. You can get extra speed, you can get some rerolls, you can get extra AP from shooting, although you can do that in Black Spear Task Force anyway. You can get rerolls in Black Spear Task Force anyway. You can be -1 strength from ranged attacks hitting your units. Okay. And you can ignore modifiers. Okay. So it's okay, and there are some interesting enhancements, although they're all quite expensive. And the stratagems, again, are interesting. Lethal hits and ignore cover. Yeah, you can get lethal hits and ignore cover in Black Spear Task Force. I'm not sure this is the one to be better than Black Spear Task Force. It's kind of doing a similar thing, except for you having to have Psychers all over the place, and it only affects your Psyche units. So, for that reason, and the fact that all the enhancements are expensive, and it's quite a complicated detachment to get to grips with, it's going to take a lot of practice. And some of your best Deathwatch units you can't even put Psychers in anyway, like your Talon Strikes. I'm going to say no to the Librarius Conclave. It's too complicated. It's wanting to do things at range, which is what the Black Spear Task Force just does better. So let's ignore that. Now, we have a Space Marine Codex, which we can use. What can we use in the Space Marine Codex, everybody? What's this? Oh, look! It's the good old Gladius detachment. Who'd have thought I'd be talking about Gladius with Deathwatch? Now, the reason why I'm talking Gladius detachment with Deathwatch is because you're teleporting around, you're shooting stuff, you're trying to get line of sight, okay? You're getting screened out. You need more movement to be able to shoot what you want to shoot. This detachment can give you more movement. You've got Devastator Doctrine, you can advance and shoot. Everything in the army can advance and shoot. Tactical Doctrine, full back, shoot and charge. That's very good. What I find when I was playing my Deathwatch quite a lot at tournaments and even in some of my battle reports, sometimes I'll send a unit in, so I deep strike stuff down, shoot stuff, cool, kill some things, charge in, kill some things, but then I'm stuck in combat. Or I deep strike down, shoot some stuff, and then I get charged in their turn. And then my unit's stuck in combat. It can't teleport out, it can't shoot, it can't fall back and still do something. I have to fall back and then that's a unit not doing something. It's without the teleporting, Black Spear Task Force is static. Movement wins games. There's a reason why Gladius is one of the best Space Marine detachment. It's because it does a bit of everything, and movement wins games, and you've got movement when you want movement. Falling back and shooting and charging is amazing, especially with all our kill team units that want to be shooting and charging. Deathwatch Terminators, you strike down, you shoot something, you go charging in with your reroll charges and your battle shock. Okay, you haven't killed it, you're still in combat when it comes back to your turn. Alright, they'll fall back, shoot all their cyclones again, and go back in again. That is amazing, and it will sort of, imagine an Indominator kill team with all its guns, and +2 strength when it shoots and everything, and +2 strength from the charge with its power fists, and your captain that's inevitably attached to the unit. Imagine that unit never being static or tied down, constantly moving around, shooting, charging, moving around, shooting, charging, moving around, shooting, charging. It's very good. Assault Doctrine as well, advancing and charging. Again, with your Terminators and your Dominator team, that's quite good, except if they want to be shooting and charging, not just charging. So Tactical Doctrine is probably what's going to benefit your kill team units the most. Assault Doctrine is probably what's going to help the Deathwatch veterans, because they really want to get into combat. Advancing and shooting is good when you're not going to be charging anything that turn, and you can run your Terminators when you Dominator kill team around a bit more to shoot what you want to shoot. But the flexibility that gives for all our infantry kill team units that want to be killing stuff and not getting tied up in combat with termagants or custodies or a tank or whatever, it's vital. Because yeah, the amount of times I've had my Dominator kill team just stuck in combat, I've been like, ugh, brilliant. So that's something worth looking at. In addition, we've got the Old Faithful enhancements. You've got on a variant to increase strength and AP for melee attacks. That's cool. Stick that on a guy that's either with your Indominator kill team or with your Terminators or with your Deathwatch veterans, make them better in combat. That's cool. Fire Discipline. Now that's got to be worth a look with Deathwatch, right? Giving units sustained hits. Yeah, okay. Stick that on someone with your Indominator kill team. It's only got sustained hits. Okay, it's only shooting, but that's fine, because you can fall back and shoot. So yeah, they're good. And then in terms of enhancements, again, we've got things that benefit everything that kill teams want to do. We can put a unit in a dot trim, which is nice. We can ignore cover and increase AP in the devastated dot trim for shooting, so you can make shooting things better. We've got one of the chapter to give you Lance, and then +1 AP if you're in the Assault Doctrine. Unit of Terminators with all those power fists, +1 a wound. Yeah, I'll take that. Fight on Death is nice as well. So yeah, it's everything here benefits everything our kill team units want to do. And let's not forget we can have, because we're not shoehorned into the Black Spear Task Force with all its kill teams, we can pick whatever units we want from the Space Marine Codex, and they're all going to benefit from all these doctrines and stratagems. It's not having the stratagems and doctrines only affecting kill team units, they're affecting everything. So we can really build a more rounded Deathwatch list that isn't going to be static, it's going to be moving around constantly, doing what it wants to do. And in addition, we've got Squad Tactics, which is a reactive move. Something we really miss, or at least I really miss, in Black Spear Task Force. Someone runs towards your Indominator kill team or your Terminators. Oh, it'd be great just to run away a little bit, wouldn't it? So you can't get charged and then tied up in combat. Or imagine if you had a stratagem, whereas if you were charged, you just teleported out off the board. That'd be hilarious. So yeah, reactive moves is great, especially with veterans and rhinos. You can have some veterans get out a rhino, kill something, and someone then runs over to kill your Deathwatch veterans. And you go, yeah, they'll just jump back in the rhino. very good stratagems. Okay, enhancements are okay. Very good stratagems. Very good doctrines. I like the Gladius. Is that better than Black Spear Task Force for Deathwatch? Does it give a more rounded army that isn't just infantry shooting stuff and relying on teleporting around to get around the board? Because another thing we have to think about is if your units are teleporting around the board, what they're not doing is sitting on primary objectives. Okay, another detachment we can maybe have a look at. What's this one? Stormlance. Stormlance. Why on earth are you thinking Deathwatch might be good at Stormlance? Well, here's why. I've tried it a couple of times. I actually really enjoyed it. It's kind of like Gladius, but simpler. Your entire army can advance and charge and fall back and charge all the time. You don't have to think about what doctrines are doing. You can just do it all the time. Now, let's not forget that's really going to help you Deathwatch Terminators that reroll charges and are slow. Terminators advancing and charging and fallback and charging is good. Indomitor kill teams, they get their +2 strength on the charge. Advancing and charging and fallback and charging with them is useful. Although, yes, if you advance, you can't shoot with those units. I hear you say, well, there's a stratagem for that. Because for 1 CP, you can give an Adeptus Astartes unit Assault. So if your Indomitor kill team really needs to run around the board one turn, you can advance it. It can still charge because it can advance and charge. Spend a CP, then they can also shoot before they're in charge. So you advance up to the unit they want to kill. You get +2 strength because you're shooting the nearest thing. And then you're charging at +2 strength to finish it off. Now, that sounds pretty brutal to me. An Indomitor kill team that can advance, shoot and charge. Or you can spend that on your Terminators. Again, your veterans, advancing and charging is fine because I think they're more of a melee unit anyway. So advancing and charging with a unit of Deathwatch veterans that come busting out of a rhino or something. That's really good. And this stratagem is, it doesn't just give assault. If the weapons already have assault, it gives them sustained hits as well. So I think the Deathwatch heavy bolt rifles have assault. Yes, they do. The Deathwatch heavy bolt has sustained hits anyway. But if you're advancing and shooting with the Indomitor kill team for that CP, let's not forget that the heavy bolt rifle's also going to get sustained hits because they already have assault built in. So that's lots of lethal and sustained shots on the advance, and then everything else can then shoot as normal, and then you can charge because of the detachment ability. So that's really good. I like Deathwatch advancing and charging. If you like playing Deathwatch and you want to get stuck in and really kill those Xenos as quickly as possible, don't just dance around them shooting them. Run at them shooting them, and then charge into them and cut their heads off. That's really good. They've still got Armor of Contempt. Fine. They've got some cool stratagems for mounted units as well, which is nice if you like Outriders and things. Not really my style, but yeah. Adeptus Astartes fly vehicle as well. So if you're running all these kill teams that like to shoot, and you have a speeder, because the +1 to wound speeder. What's it called? I'm going to have to get my codex now because this is bugging me. Is it a Thunder Strike that gives things +1 to wound when you shoot it? Maybe I need to get one of these. It is. It's Storm Speeder's Thunder Strike. That's the one I keep referring to. Storm Speeder Thunder Strike. If you've got one of those, because you really like your Cyclone missiles getting +1 wound, you can make your Thunder Strike more survivable. You can make a -1 hit and -1 wound for a CP. That will keep your shooting going for longer because Thunder Strikes are pretty fragile. So let's not forget there's that option as well. And then, like with Gladius, there's a reactive move stratagem. But the one in Gladius is D6 inches reactive move, or up to D6, when the enemy moves within 9 inches, except for if you're in the tactical doctrine, then it's up to 6 inches. Windswift evasion is always up to 6 inches. Now it says here, an Adeptus Astartes unit, that has actually been FAQ'd. I think it's just infantry now, or mounted. But that's fine, because all your kill teams are infantry anyway. So if someone runs towards you and Dom with the kill team, yeah, I'll just run away 5 inches. It's reliable. It's very good. Or if someone runs towards your veterans that are near their rhino, move back, jump back in their rhino. They're safe. Rattling moves are very good. Advancing and shooting is very good. Advancing and charging and fallback and charging all the time is really good. And the enhancements are okay as well for this. I'm going to ignore the mounted ones because, well, yeah. But you've got one that poor sense of wisdom. This is currently 15 points. You can reroll advanced rolls for that unit. So if you've got, no, let's say because you haven't got lethal sustained hits because you're not playing Black Spear Task Force, but you really want your Terminators to get an extra boost, just chuck a Librarian with them to give some sustained hits. And then maybe we want to give the Librarian this enhancement to enable them to reroll their advanced rolls. And then because the Terminators can reroll charge rolls, you then got a unit of Terminators that can advance and charge, rerolling advances and charges. And if you want to make them advance and shoot as well, spend the CP on Biston Fusillade. You can suddenly be very quick at getting around the board with the infantry that can go through walls, get line of sight on something, and then shoot it, and then charge something else, or just go through and charge something. So that's an option. This one I really like, Fainting Withdrawal. The unit is eligible to shoot when it falls back as well. Indomitable Kill Team. So, imagine you've got your Indomitable Kill Team with all your guns, and your power fists on the aggressors, and your captain with his power fists, or his gun and sword, or whatever you've given him. That unit can advance. It can charge because of the detachment rule. You can spend a CP on it, so it can also shoot. And some of the guns will get extra sustained hits, which is nice. So you've got big Indomitable Kill Team. They move 5 inches, they're slow. Okay, I can now advance and shoot and charge with this unit. Advance, shooting, charge with an Indomitable Kill Team. That gets +2 strength against the thing that's shooting if it's the nearest thing, which it probably will be because you ran towards it. And then +2 strength from the charge because you're then going to charge and finish it off. And then when it comes back round to your turn again, if you're stuck in combat, you can fall back and charge because of the detachment rule. And then when you go back charging back in, you get your +2 strength. And you give your captain this enhancement so you can also fall back and shoot. So you fall back, you shoot the thing you just fell back from at +2 strength because you're shooting the nearest thing because you just fell back from them. And then you charge in and finish them off at +2 strength from the charge as well. An Indomitable Kill Team that can advance, shoot and charge, and fall back, shoot and charge. It sounds hilarious and it sounds frightful. It's a big unit that's going to do a lot of damage turn after turn after turn until someone puts a significant amount of firepower or killing power into it and kills it. Yes, they haven't got any vulnerable save and they're only 3-up saves, but toughness 6, 10 bodies at toughness 6, it's going to take some chonking. And let's not forget you can stick armor contempt on them. And you can make them run away for a CP, so if someone starts running towards them, they can run off. So you can keep them safer and keep them active. And your Terminators are advancing and charging, fall back and charging. Your Deathwatch veterans are advancing and charging, fall back and charging. And then you can have your other Deathwatch units like the Talon Strike team just dropping down, shooting, doing their thing, dropping down, shooting. Okay, they're not getting lethal sustained hits anymore. Or your extra AP or your anti-infantry 2-up from your cracking rounds. But they can still do your shooting as the Deathwatch units that want to be doing the shooting and the punching can run around doing the shooting and the punching. Instead of trying to teleport around getting angles, you're just running around the board, smashing stuff, constantly on the move. And it's such a simple detachment. I like it. I really like Stormlance. Is this better than Black Spear Task Force? I don't know. If you really like teleporting around shooting stuff, then Black Spear Task Force is obviously better. But if you want to get stuck in a bit more with your Terminators, with your Indomitable Kill Team, and maybe you don't like Talon Strikes, or you don't like Fortis Kill Teams, maybe this is a detachment for you. If you like the veterans, the Terminators and the Indomitable Kill Team, you like the kill teams that are more combat based, give this one a go. And then put other units with them. Either other Deathwatch units or normal Space Marine units. You could do, for example, I've done Hellblasters in this detachment with my Deathwatch because Hellblasters have assault anyway. spend a CP, they can suddenly advance and shoot and get sustained hits. And if you've got a lieutenant with him, they've got lethal and sustained hits on your Hellblasters again. And your Hellblasters can advance, shoot and charge, fall back, shoot and charge, because you can fall back, shoot and charge because you've got a lieutenant with them. So Hellblasters are good in the Stormlance as well. Dreadnoughts, advancing and charging Dreadnoughts is fun. Fall back and charging with Dreadnoughts is fun. Obviously they like shooting as well, but you know, sometimes you're not going to see what you want to shoot, so you just got to think, well, you know, I'll advance and throw a Dreadnought at you then. You know, and if you're thinking, you know, because I'm not going fully into Black Spear Task Force to get the lethal hits and the sustained hits and the special ammo, do I want to spend 290 points on a Talon Strike kill team, or do I just spend, what is it at the moment, 130? I don't know how much they are, on just a unit of Inceptors, and then you get the benefit of deep striking a little bit closer, more difficult to screen out, because a big unit of Talon Strike can get screened out. It's 10 dudes and 5 of them are on big bases. As mentioned earlier, teleporting around is great until you get screened out, and then you just then you can't get around and shoot what you want to shoot. So Inceptors are good. The advantage of using the Space Marine attachments is you're not almost forced to go with the kill team units just to get the benefit out of your detachment. You can pick any unit and the detachment will benefit them. And then you can just pick and choose what Deathwatch kill teams you want. So you can just pick the best ones, which I think are the Veterans, the Terminators, and the Indomitor kill team. Talon Strikes are really, really good in Black Spear Task Force, but I think outside of that, I'm not entirely sure they're worth it. But Stormlance, interesting. It's a bit like Gladius, but simpler, more combat based. This helps with shooting as well. So there's that. Other detachments we can maybe look at. Vanguard Spearhead. This is like Black Spear Task Force light. It's a shooting detachment, but with some slight differences. Detachment rule is if someone's shooting you in the more than 12 inches away, you get their -1 hit and you get the benefit of cover. So you kind of got the smoke launchers all the time, which is nice. It can make your more shooting units a bit more durable, which is nice. You know, your forces kill teams that really want to be shooting things from a distance will survive a bit longer, which is nice because they're fragile. So there's that. Enhancements. There are some hilarious things you can do with this. The blade driven deep, you can make a unit of Deathwatch Terminators infiltrate. You can make an Indomitor kill team infiltrate. Yeah, okay, I'll just infiltrate my 10 Gravis dudes with their captain. Okay. And let's not forget the Indomitor kill team outside of Black Spear Task Force. You can also put the captain and the Apothecary Biologus in there as well to then still get your lethal hits. The bolt weapons are getting lethal hits anyway, so it's only really going to benefit your melters and your bolt storm gauntlets. But that's always something you could do. So you can infiltrate a big Indomitor kill team if you wanted to get them a bit further up the board because they're slow. You could give up model stealth and loan up. I'm not sure how that's going to benefit Deathwatch. You can make a Phobos model have move, shoot, move. So what you could do here is, I don't really talk about it much, but the Spectres kill team that goes up and down, a bit like Scouts, off the board and back on the board. You can have a Phobos Librarian with your Spectres kill team, so they get stealth and loan up, essentially. Can't get shot within 12. Equip them with all the guns, and they can keep coming on the board, shooting something, and then going off and shooting something. This you can also give the Librarian this, and that gives them move, shoot, move. So they can come on the board, shoot something, run away a bit, and then disappear again, come back on, shoot something. That could be interesting. Shadow War Veteran to give to a Phobos model to nerf opponent stratagems. Just use a Calidus, it's easier. That's not a cheap enhancement either, that's quite expensive. Stratagems for this one, you can stick your objectives and put explosives on them, which is nice. You got Armor of Contempt, which is nice. You can give a unit precision in the fight phase, which is nice, but it's 2 CP. Why would you? Why? Strike from the Shadows, it's a shooting one. If you're more than 12 inches away, you can increase your AP and ballistic skill by 1. So that could be really nice on your Talon Strike. If you want to drop down a bit, just over 12 inches away, you can get your extra AP and hitting on 2s with that, which could be quite nice. Or you can do it with Hell Blasters or you thought it was kill teams, but they get +1 hit anyway. So, but there are options for that. Or with your Cyclone Missiles and your Terminators, give them an extra AP and hitting on 2s. Yeah, okay. That sounds good to me. So that's not bad. Calculated Feint. Someone wants to charge one of your units, you can run away when you get charged. So again, Deathwatch kill teams don't like being stuck in combat because they're good at shooting, they're good at combat. They don't want to just be stuck in combat. Someone's charging you, just run away a little bit. It's nice, can keep your unit not tied up in combat where it doesn't really want to be. Not at the start of your turn anyway. You might want to end your turn in combat and go finish something off, but you want to shoot and charge with Deathwatch. So that's, again, a reactive stratagem is something we're missing from Black Spear Task Force. Guerrilla Tactics, it's a bit like Site Teleportation. You can pick 2 Phobos or 2 Scout units. Obviously, we can't use Scouts with Deathwatch. So you can pick 2 Phobos units. Although, if you're running a Spectre's kill team, they can kind of do it themselves anyway. But if you've got Infiltrators or Incursors or something, you can up and down them with this. Or you can pick one other Astartes infantry unit and take them off and bring them back on again. And you put some in reserve, so as opposed to deep strikes, you've got to come on from the edge. But more often than not, when you're bringing a shooting unit on via deep strike, you're coming on an edge anyway. Because you're probably, how are you going to deep strike in the middle of the board when there's units there? So this is kind of like Site Teleportation Light, but you can only do it with 1 unit. Rather than 2 kill teams. If we look at the Talon Strike, it doesn't say each time it comes on via deep strike, it's just when it's set up on the battlefield. So you can Guerrilla Tactics your Talon Strike kill team, and they're still going to get the extra AP when they come and shoot something. And then you can spend a CP on strike from the shadow, so then get them hitting on 2s and increase AP again. Inceptor Bolters, anybody? That's an extra 2 AP and hitting on 2s with many sustained hits. There's some play in this. This is like Black Spear Task Force Light with regards to the teleporting, but you've got a little reactive move. You've got a nice little shooting boosty strat. You've got sticky objectives, which is nice, and you're a bit more durable from distance with the -1 hit and benefit of cover, which is nice because we want to. Some of our units don't want to be stuck in close. So Talon Strike doesn't want to be in combat. A Fortis kill team doesn't want to be stuck in combat. They want to be sitting far at the back, shooting something. So this will help keep those kill teams alive a bit longer, and then the potential to infiltrate Deathwatch Terminators or infiltrate an Indomitor kill team, if that's something you want to do. That option's there for you. So again, this is an interesting option. I don't think this is as good as Stormlance or Gladius, but it's kind of, it's Black Spear Task Force Light with some added extra bits. It's like Black Spear Task Force with the shooting strat and the Guerrilla Tactics. Still kind of doing what Black Spear Task Force does, but it's got added little tricks where you can be a bit more durable. It's a more durable Black Spear Task Force without getting the killiness of lethal and sustained hits. But obviously this affects everything, not just Deathwatch units. So if you bring in your normal Space Marine units, they're still going to get the benefit out of this. So Black Spear Task Force Light, I'm going to call this. One more potential Detachment, and probably the worst out of the extras we're seeing here, but I thought I'd give it a mention. So we've got very shooty units that like to shoot and get in combat. We've got very good Terminators. Let's not forget that. This detachment is all based around veterans. So these are your Terminators, your Blade Guard veterans, your Stern Guard veterans, your Vanguard veterans. Okay? Not your Deathwatch veterans, sadly. That's a shame. So all the stratagems affect those sorts of units. The detachment rule is essentially once per game you can re-roll the wound roll on your oath moment, which is nice. So if the enemy's got one big unit, you can really focus fire on it with all your shooty units. Your Talon Strike, your Cyclones, re-rolling wounds is amazing because they're only strength 9, they can punch up. If you've got Hellblasters, Talon Strike, punching up into something that you really need to is nice. But okay, it's not an amazing attachment rule, but it's got its uses. The enhancements are okay. You can make a dude slightly better in combat, and once per game make the entire unit slightly better in combat. Okay, fine. That was not much to write home about. Rights of War, extra C on Terminators. Okay, interesting, because Deathwatch Terminators are pretty good. Pretty good. Up in OC of Deathwatch Terminators. Interesting. Now, what you could do is you can have a 10-man unit of Deathwatch Terminators. Yes, it's inefficient because you only have 3 Cyclones, even if it's a 10-man unit, but the 10-man unit is a bit cheaper than having 2 5-man units. And you can put in that unit a Terminator Captain and a Terminator Ancient. Bear with me. Terminator Ancient gives you +1 hit as soon as you lost a model, +1 win when you've lost more models. So it makes them more killy as they get killed. Okay. Terminator Captain, yes, he allows reroll charges, which your Deathwatch Terminators get anyway, but you get your free strats. And then that way you get 2 characters on the unit of Terminators you can give enhancements to. One of them you can give the extra OC one to. And let's not forget that the Ancients increase OC anyway. So your big 10-man unit of Terminators with your 2 characters isn't 12 OC, it's 24 OC. And then Rights of War, you can increase that further if you want to. Iron Resolve gives the Terminator character a feel no pain. Nice. Okay. Once per game, gives the unit a 5-up feel no pain. 10-man unit of Deathwatch Terminators that are very killy because you've got 3 heavy weapons in there. You've probably chucked some Thunderhammers and Storm Shields in there as well to give them, a few guys of extra wounds. Suddenly giving that unit a 5-up feel no pain. Lol. Armour of Contempt, we know what that does. Duty and Honour. Sticky objectives, essentially, which again is useful, but it's only for Terminator or Veteran units. Heroes of the Chapter gives unit +1 a hit. If it's a Veteran unit, +1 hit on your Deathwatch Terminators. Yes, please. So what I'm thinking is you can have one big brick of Deathwatch Terminators, 10-man, with some characters with these enhancements, and then you can have 2 other 5-man units, which you can give +1 a hit to. Only one of them per phase, but you have the potential to give Terminators +1 hit, which is nice. If they're below half strength, you also get +1 a wound. So it kind of does what the Terminator Ancient does, but for one of the other Terminator units. So you can suddenly get lots of Terminators hitting on 2s. Hilarious. Maybe your other 2 5-man units of Deathwatch Terminators you attach Librarians to also give them a little bit of extra spice and some sustained hits as well. So that's nice. Orbital Teleportarium. That sounds very Deathwatchy. End of the opponent's fight phase, pick a Terminator unit. Goes off the board, deep strikes back down again. There's your site-to-site teleportation. Okay, it only affects your Terminators, but if you love Deathwatch Terminators and you've got a bunch of them, this might be the detachment for you. So, up and down with your Terminators. You can battle shot test things. I think this is the battle shot test one. In the fight phase, going with a veteran unit, killing them in unit, things nearby, take a battle shot test. Okay, I mean, you're charging with your Deathwatch Terminators and your battle shot testing things anyway, so I won't bother with that one so much. And then this one, for 1 CP. 1 CP. In your opponent's charge phase, just after they've charged something, you can spend the CP and make your veteran unit, or your Deathwatch Terminator unit, -1 damage till the end of the turn, which is essentially the fight phase. So you can have 10 Deathwatch Terminators with an Ancient and a Captain. You can give them, once per game, a whole unit of 5-up feel no pain. Nice. You can give them armor and contempt. 2 up saves for armor and contempt, and a 5 up feel no pain. Already sounds pretty good. Let's not forget you've probably got a few hammers added in there for extra resilience. And yeah, hammers hit on 4s, but you can make them hit on 3s easily enough with this detachment because you've got your ancient. As soon as one Terminator goes down, those hammers are hitting on 3s. Your power fists and cyclones are hitting on 2s. And then if someone charges your Terminators, you just pop a CP or use your captain's free CP and go, yeah, that unit of Terminators that's now really tough is going to be -1 damage. You can make a very difficult to shift Deathwatch Terminator unit. Yeah, it's built around Deathwatch Terminators, and you can have extra spice if you have Deathwatch units in and around it. It's a shame it doesn't include Deathwatch veterans, or they haven't factored it to include Deathwatch veterans for some of these stratagems, because that would be cool. Maybe it should just have like Adeptus Astartes Terminator or Adeptus Astartes Veteran. That'd be good. But yeah, it was a bit of an afterthought, but some people might enjoy this attachment. Anyway, so they're the attachments I thought I'd mention. Some of them more viable than others. Vanguard Spearhead is Black Spear Task Force Light. Gladius, as always, is a good option. And I really like Stormlance. It's simple and effective. And obviously, let's not forget we do have the Black Spear Task Force, of course. So, has anybody tried different detachments to Deathwatch? If so, how much success have you had? Are you fed up with trying to teleport around where you can't teleport? Are you fed up with your units getting stuck in a combat? Maybe one of these detachments could be for you. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.